Hi there, this is Jenny Penton, founder of Planner Perfect, and I coach women how to live their best life and write a better story for their lives. And today I'm answering your questions. I had asked the question on Instagram, what was keeping you stuck? It was like, what are your big top reasons you think that is keeping you where you are and stopping you or making you believe you're stuck in obtaining your goals? So there was tons of responses to that question. And so I am going to be answering those here one by one. They'll be here on IGTV. I'm also going to be doing it on my other social platforms as well, because these are such amazing. The responses were so great that I feel like they would help a lot of people. So let's get started. I'm going to go with the one that everyone seemed to have. I mean, even if it was coupled and tripled with several different things and reasons they were led to believe that they were stuck, a lot of it was where they feel overwhelmed and they procrastinate. Okay, so let's really talk about that for a minute and how you can finally get unstuck from being unmotivated and finally move out of procrastination and actually get excited or just get your stuff done. So first of all, let me tell you, if you are new to me, what I do, and that is, as a homeschooling mom of 8 and a business owner, I had halfway through mothering and having 4 kids is when I really hit that wall where I was like, is there more to me than being my children's mother? Now that was one of those questions that I really needed answers to. And I really felt that it was a deja vu for me. Life seemed to be the same. And even though I wouldn't trade it, I absolutely love the role of motherhood. It's one of the most amazing jobs in the world. And I'm still in the thick of it now, just because I have so many. But once I had that light bulb moment of, you know what, you need to unshelve yourself and use yourself now, because everyone has gifts and talents, including mothers. And I think the one big thing that women get tripped up on the most is that they mistakenly believe that being a mother is their calling. And that's one of the biggest fallacies that you'll ever believe. It is not your calling. Because to me, there's a lot of mothers in this world. And that doesn't separate you from another mother. I mean, there's a lot of mothers. What separates you and who are you outside of being a mother? That's the kind of question you need to ask, because you are called to do something outside of that role, to be using your talents. You can use it alongside of it and with it and alongside of it, inside your motherhood and outside of it. And once I knew that, because I'm an artist as well, once I began to understand that I really enjoyed teaching and coaching women, and I also really enjoyed painting, that it was time for me to bring that out. I started blogging. I started to experiment with different things to find what I really loved, and I dug deep. And I know that as a mother, and especially if you're home, it's a great platform because you can experiment in a lot of things. You know, you really got these things down. You've got you crochet. I mean, I remember crocheting, knitting, baking. You know, you got the whole gamut. I mean, you know so many different homemaking skills, and you're great at it. But at the same time, there's that feeling of, is there more? And as your children get older and they don't need you like they used to, and they're leaving the nest, and you're left with just you then, and your role changes, and that's where you're left with you again, where no one needs you as they did. And so that's why it's important, because who are you outside of raising children is something you need to know, because when you know that and find that out, then your identity doesn't leave when your children do. It's like when you wave goodbye to your children to live their dreams, you never lived yours. And so then you're left with, you feel like you're left with nothing, like, who am I? Because you'd put so much stake in the identity of motherhood and as that role. And that's where the mistake comes in. No matter where you're at in your motherhood, no matter where you are now, it's never too late. Once you do know, then it's time to get knowing. And that's the beauty, and that's the good part. So that's where I come from. That's where I want to begin from. Okay, so when you're living your life and you're planning your life, and that's why I created these planners with a unique method that gives women room to be intentional about their life and map out and choreograph a life that they truly want to live that includes themselves. And when you include yourself within the role of motherhood, then you not only amp up your game in motherhood, but you find like you're living like this brand new life. You feel like you get a spring in your step, and you feel like, dang, I am somebody, because sometimes it's so easy to feel lost and feel hidden and selfless. And even though motherhood is a selfless act, and it doesn't mean though that you can't be out there helping others, serving the world with your gifts and your talents, because God has equipped everyone with them to make the world a better place. So your role as mother is very important. And so is using who you are within that role within your family and outside of family. Because I think as mothers, you need to set an example of what living your dream looks like, of what a mom who is executing her goals and her dreams and using her talents, what that looks like. Children learn by watching. Children learn by being able to observe. They download it, they see it. So we need to set examples. My mother was perfect at that, because she never told me how to plan or how to live per se, as much as I watched her. And what I saw was a woman who was confident, content, doing things that she loved, serving people in the home and outside of the home, and still to this day pursuing things that she enjoys, and taking classes, writing a book, doing things that bring her fulfillment. And so she never lost herself when we were older, as we grew older. She was grounded in who she was, and you could feel it. And you want your children to be able to feel that in their mother, that she knows who she is, because you want your children to know who they are, right? You don't want them to ever feel lost in folding laundry, right? You want them to know ultimately who they are, and that they're a miracle to even be here, and that they were gifted with talents. My homeschooling, I centered it around my children knowing their gifts. I centered it around it. I didn't do blanket testing or things that they had to know just because the government said. Those all fell into place when they needed to. But my main focus was what they were good at, because I wanted to work on their strengths and what they were good at naturally, because that's what their natural gifts and talents, where they lied. And that's where the game changer is, because that's what you're called to do, is what you're good at. So that's where I come from. And that's a long type of It was a long spiel, but it was something important that I feel that I needed to let you know exactly where I'm coming from when I'm going to show you how you can begin to step out of being stuck and become motivated and get out of procrastination to reach your own goals. One of the reasons why women can lose motivation is, number one, they go by their feelings and not by what they want. So if you strictly go by how you're feeling, you're never going to be able to achieve what you're looking for. I heard Mel Robbins speak, and it was awesome because it really validates a lot of my method and how I plan and how I even live my life. And what she said was just like, yes, yes, yes. Because she said that she said that you always are going to be getting these ideas. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to act on it within 5 seconds, or your brain is going to try to talk you out of it. So, which makes so much sense because your mind is wired to keep you comfortable and do things that don't put you in harm's way and make you struggle. And so before your mind starts going through, files and trying to say, hey, you should just sit down and be comfortable, those ideas are what God's birthing to you to say, I am giving you ideas so that you can reach your goals, you can reach your dreams, the people you need to call, the places you need to go, and the ideas that will take you where you want to go. And you want to act on them within 5 minutes, get them jotted down, note where you want to go, start dreaming on that paper, start making and acting and moving and acting on those ideas. That's what's going to take you, and that is such great momentum for motivation. When it comes to writing down these goals and staying motivated, understand that you don't want to go by your feelings, you want to go by what you want. You want to do the things that are hard to get you to what you want. When I started working out for the first time, I'm 47, I would walk with my children and do all that, but being at the age I am, I even watch my grandchild now full time, but I decided that I was going to be working out every day of the week during the week. And I decided that I was going to just begin. And to get out of my bed at 5 a.m. in the morning, I did not want to do it. I didn't feel like it. I was nervous. I'd never ran on a treadmill. I've never done all of these things. I was joining this gym and Orange Theory, actually. But I did it anyway. I got up and I did it anyway because I went toward what I want, which was fitness and health and feeling just better, having more energy. I wanted that. So I went for what I wanted rather than how I felt. And boy, am I glad I did and still do. And I've been doing it for 5 days in a row, sometimes 6, because I go for what I want instead of how I feel. Not always do I do that, but I know the tool and what I need to do. And I'm sharing that with you, that you want to go after what you want, not how you feel. And so not always this whole motivation, what can keep you motivated and keep you, I like to say, inspired? Because a lot of times taking action, you're not going to get that motivation all the time. And that's why you need to just act. And you need to do it quick. You don't feel like doing that laundry. You don't feel like you're intimidated to start that book, but you got the idea. You go by what you want, not how you feel. So get the motivation thing out of here. Like something's wrong with you because you don't feel motivated. Just understand that you need to act and go by what you want. So then how you script your life within my planning and my planner system is that you script your life with such great detail that you're describing, you actually are going through the act of like a written vision board. And you begin at the beginning of your day and you go by the end of that night, and you're not writing bullet points of what has to be done and to-do lists. You live beyond the to-do list. You live beyond your tasks because your tasks are interwoven into a bigger scheme of things, into your whole life. You aren't your to-do. You are a beautiful, wonderfully made human being with huge goals, huge dreams, places to go, people to meet, and things to do. And this is all, and taking care of a home, children, all of this, family, friends. There's things that you want to live, experience, and be. You write that kind of life. And then that creates more of an inspiration. Instead of motivation, I like to say inspiration. You're more inspired to act. It inspires you to move when you write your life down in a beautiful way and you write a better story. You're more than a toilet cleaning. You're basically writing down, I'm going to enjoy this coffee. I'm going to write in my gratitude journal. I'm going to be going to work out. I'm going to come home. I'm going to take those dishes out and start my laundry and get my morning routine done. I'm going to shower. I'm going to work toward these business goals. I'm going to take care of my children here. I'm going to take them here. And you're choreographing your life into little, like a puzzle piece of all this beauty in life. And then you take those pieces and you intricately put them everywhere. It's visionary work, and it's forward planning, and it's knowing what you want, and it's working on that. That's important in being able to establish what you want and obtaining your goals by knowing what you want and choreographing them in your life, and you're scripting a beautiful life day by day by day. You can go out as far as a week in advance. You can go you're writing months goals of what you've broken it down, all the goals down into 1 month and how you can accomplish them. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. When you can learn how to use the method as a tool to obtain goals, reach for what you want, and be inspired along the way. It's a combination of setting intentions, inspiring yourself through writing down a beautiful life and how you want to live, the dinners you want to make, the places you want to go, the things you want to do with your children. Those kind of things take thought. Those are intentions when you think about things first. That means you're setting intentions. You don't want anything to be left to chance and left on their own to just flounder. To be truly in control of your own life is to take the reins back and to envision what you want, and then you make it happen. And you make it happen by knowing what you want first, and then you script it. And the more detail you give on that paper, the more your mind takes note, stops the overwhelm in your head, and then it begins to just motivate you from within, and you get inspired to act. So no more, because the only reason why overwhelm and all of that comes in is because your mind is just spinning, because it's all in the head. Once you get it out, you break it down into pieces, you choreograph it throughout the whole week. You no longer are bombarded by the brain to say, you got to do this, remember you got to do this, remember you got to do this, you got to do this. You've already taken note of all those things. You've said no to some things because you already know where you're headed. Remember, saying no is part of being a woman of intention, because if something doesn't align with your goals and where you're headed, it really keeps you accountable to you and your family, and you know when to say yes and when to say no. Your life becomes less overwhelmed and one of beauty and flow, easy flow, peace. You know where you're going. It just seems easy. Yet you're doing so many amazing things, and everything you do, women could be amazed at, but to you it feels easy. Because you did all this brain work and you thought and you had a vision and you know who you are and you're grounded. So I inspire you to be a woman who knows who she is and to remember who she is. So I hope that this video has helped you and inspired you to become your best self. Get rid of overwhelm, be inspired, forget motivation, act, write a better story. Until next time, you guys.